Hi, I'm Emil Hammer, your righteous teacher. What I want to talk to you today about is some of the extreme weather conditions and climate change. And hopefully by the end of this video, some of you will have a better understanding of what's going on. What you see now is really the making of hell. We are in the final days, in the final judgment days, the final judgment period now, which started in 2019. The length of this final judgment period is somewhat unknown. There's an estimate based on numbers and figures and logic of how long it should be, probably for the next 4 to 5 years. However, why am I saying this and why am I telling you this? My audience is primarily African Americans, descendants of slaves, and that's who I want to talk to. Whether you call yourself Negroes, African Americans, blacks, whatever, I refer to you as God's people because that's who you are, God's people. Therefore, with that in mind, you have to understand something. If God has people, then Satan has people too. Okay? Now, I'm not going to call any names today, but for those of you who know me, have heard my talks before, you know who I'm referring to. Now, and that's just a fact. And for those of you who are of God's people, black, African Americans, Negroes, Christians, Jews, whatever you call yourself, who are offended by that, then so be it. You are just offended. But at some point, you're going to accept the truth, whether it be before the final judgment day, the day of reckoning, or whether it be after that day. But you will accept the truth. Now, if you wait until it's too late, if you wait till that final day of judgment, then you waited too late. You're going to have to suffer the consequences of your deeds, of your decisions, of your actions, okay? Meaning that you're going to have to serve time in hell with the lepers, okay? Now, let me start by saying this, okay? Extreme weather in what you're seeing now, the fires, the floods, the earthquakes, okay, the tornadoes, the extreme heat. This is our way of shaking the wicked from the earth. That's what we're doing. We're starting to shake the wicked from the earth. Now, those of you who are Christians, I got to tell you this, because see, you're under an antidote, and that antidote keeps you sleeping, okay? Don't wake the sleeping giant. That's what they've used to keep you asleep, Christianity, okay? Now I've got to tell you this because it's the truth. I'm the righteous teacher. I'm Emil Hammer. Now, for those of you who continue to doubt what I'm saying, all I can tell you to do is research. Step away from what the preachers are telling you for a moment and do your own research, do your own studies, do your own thinking, put your own logic together so that you can know and understand. I mean, what I'm saying is so simple, even a 7-year-old can understand it, a fool can understand it. But if you're under an antidote and you're asleep, then no, you won't see it and you won't understand it. You got to step away from that antidote. That's the only way you'll see it. Now, I know some of you have been brainwashed and thinking, well, I know many of your preachers have told you that, hey, if I don't say it, don't you listen to it. You only listen to what I tell you. That's what some of the preachers will tell you. That's what they teach you, to keep you in that spiral, keep you on that merry-go-round, keep you on that antidote, okay? To keep you on that drug, okay? Now, what we're witnessing here with all this extreme heat, Europe, which consists of France and Spain and Netherlands and Portuguese and all those, they have are now experiencing the worst heat, some of the highest temperatures ever, okay? Heat is not only affecting temperature for degrees of Celsius. The heat that we are experiencing now is more intense, which meaning that this heat evaporates water much quicker, dries up the oceans, dries up the rivers, the lakes, and the streams, in which gives you your fresh water. Okay, now the ocean, okay, and the sea. One sea is salty, one sea is sweet. Okay, the sweet water is what the vessels of the sweet water is your rivers, okay, which also spear out into your lakes and your streams, okay. Now, the other sea is salty, okay. There are saltwater animals in that sea. One of the reasons why you're seeing so much aggressive activity from animals now is because what's happening is that sweet water and salt water is starting to mix. When that happens, it upsets the balance of the animals, their nature, okay? It upsets their food supply. What's causing this? Well, the glaciers. The glaciers are melting. Your glaciers provide 87% of the world's fresh water. So when the glaciers start melting, the glaciers are melting and they're dumping into the sea. It causes sea to rise, but it also does something else. It causes the waters to mix. It causes fresh water and salt water to mix. And when that happens, it upsets the balance of nature. The moon and the oceans, the seas, have to maintain a balance for the earth. And when that is disturbed, it creates another problem for the earth. Now, what is it that will be so devastating when glaciers melt? Now, I've already mentioned that glaciers provide 87% of our fresh water. Well, what I'm trying to explain to you here is that you don't have much time. These glaciers have started melting at a rate in which scientists predicted would probably melt at this point, wouldn't melt at this point until probably another 30 years. But we're already at that point. So the scientists have figured out that, well, we started they really started monitoring this around 1950. And every 10 years they go back and they'll look and see and try to determine at what point, at what rate are these glaciers melting, at what rate are we warming up. And what they're finding is that after 1960, 1970, they learned that, oh, wait a minute, the earth is warming at a much, much faster rate than what we anticipated. It's like sand in an hourglass. The closer that glass, the more that glass becomes empty, the faster the sand is able to pour out of it. Therefore, more sand comes out towards the end than the beginning of the hourglass. Therefore, just like the hourglass, the earth begins to warm up quicker near the end than it will at the beginning. Okay, so why am I saying this? Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this hopefully because you will take heed to what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay? You'll take heed and you will turn from your wicked ways and you will begin to serve your Creator only. Okay? Now, let me express this to you again. Jesus is not your Creator. Okay? And I have to go into this a little bit. You probably heard it before, but I'm going to say it again until hopefully you will begin to step away from that antidote that's got you sleeping and begin to wake up and understand, come into logic, and begin to navigate upward, upward, upward. Now, here's where they trick you at, for those of you who are Christians. They told you that Jesus is your God. They used to say Jesus is the Son of God. Then they said, well, we better change this. We better make Jesus the God. Because there was too many holes in that theory that Jesus was the Son of God. Although they still say he's the Son of God, but they say that he's one and the same. He's the Son of God and God. Some of them say. Yeah, some of them do say that. So therefore, they had to change and say, well, he is God, you know. But the reality of it is that his original name was Esau. And when Brother Esau was here on earth, he was a genuine prophet of the Creator, of God Almighty, of the Omni in the present. So once he came and he began to minister and teach the people of that time, but he also explained that he was also a mirror. And that was what was so confusing to people. What he meant when he said he was a mirror, when he said, he made various comments, he said, I shall return again. Well, he didn't mean he would return, but what he meant is that he, as in his brother, would return. He referred to, he had the mentality that I am you and you are me, okay? For an example. There was once a time when he was out and he approached a man. He told him, he said, I want to thank you. And the man said, thank me for what? He said, because when I was hungry, you gave me bread. And the man replied by saying, well, I never gave you any bread. I never gave you anything to eat. He said, yeah, but you gave my brother bread. So to feed my brother is to feed me. Okay, so what that means is that he was a mirror of a time to come, but not he. Someone with his same mentality, someone who worshiped the Creator just as he did, someone who had the same heart, the same mind, the same logic as he did. That's what he was saying, okay, when he said that he would return. So anyway, what the lepers did, the lepers took that image of him and put it into a character called Jesus and put a European face on that character, Jesus. They did that for a reason, okay? It served multi-purposes to do something like that. First of all, it put God people, it tricks and deceives God's people into worshiping a false God. At the same time, it puts a face of them as a God, which means it promoted leper supremacy. And I'm sorry, European supremacy. Let me put it either way, European leprosy. But I will not, I won't not, I ain't not going to refer to them as white because they are not white. They're colorless. Now, for those of you who get offended by that, so be it. Go on, follow them. Go on through the gate with them. That's all I can tell you. I wish you wouldn't, but hey, if that's what you got to do, you do it. Go on with them. Go on, follow them. But I tell you what now, their world is burning down. Their world is coming down. And if you want to follow them, you go on down in there with them. Because eventually, America will be the pit of hell. I say this because I know this. And if you want to follow them, nothing I can do. But my job is to warn you. I'm simply a warner. That's all. For those of you who think your money gonna save you, nope. nope. Your money ain't gonna save you. Now, let me explain something to you. This is gonna come about kind of like gradual. It's gonna happen gradual until all of a sudden, boom. That's when the veil's gonna come off. That's gonna be the final day. That's when everybody's gonna recognize that they're in hell. Who are there? They're gonna recognize it. A woman can be 6 months pregnant, she's gonna drop that fetus right there. And for those of you who choose to follow him, adios amigos. Nothing we can do about that. You made that choice. You're the one who said you want to hold on to Jesus. Okay? For those of you who refuse to worship your Creator and bow to your Creator and serve all the prophets and acknowledge all the prophets, I mean all the prophets. Brother Esau, Muhammad, Noah, Ibrahim, Ezekiel, all the prophets. You must acknowledge all the prophets. You cannot leave Muhammad out. Muhammad was part of the black Moors that came out of Africa into Europe. They taught Europeans how to use the bathroom, how to go to the bathroom, how to dispose of their waste, how to wash themselves. Now, of course, the Europeans turned on them, but yeah, they did it. And that's what they were supposed to do. Now, I'm going to end my talks here. We're about 16, 17 minutes in. I try to keep my talks under 15 minutes. But I want you guys to understand something. You must start taking a look at the Cherubim Federation. The Cherubim Federation will be the vessel, okay, that will separate, okay, the sheep from the goat. That's what the Cherubim Federation is serving. That's its purpose, to separate the sheep from the goat. And if you choose to continue to be a goat, I can only tell you what could possibly happen to you. Hell is coming. It will be a gradual process. And when it breaks loose, you know, and the water dry up, and the food dry up, and the bombs start falling, start dropping, the nukes start dropping, it's going to make the movie called The Walking Dead look like child's play. Okay? I mean, you may have water for a little while. You may have food for a little while, but trust me, it's only going to be for a little while. So anyway, I'm Emil Hammer. I'm your righteous teacher. Embrace the Cherubim Federation. Peace and blessings to you.